Hello, my name is Mally Hawkshaw. This is my Geography 170 final presentation. My research for this class focused on data centers, and I was trying to answer the question where would be the best place to create a new data center in the United States, specifically for Amazon facilities. Um, I have an interesting perspective on this because I spent the past year writing a thesis for the Institute of Environment and Sustainability regarding water use within tech companies, and we focus on data centers as they're very water and just generally resource intensive, as well as the necessity for 400 more data centers to be created in the United States within the next 10 years makes them a point of key interest. So, given my previous literature review and knowledge on data centers, I want to take the opportunity to finally do a GIS analysis of data center and data center implementation. So I wanted to focus specifically on Amazon facilities. So currently Amazon has two facilities, one in Oregon and one in Virginia, and this is the extent of their coverage. I utilize a viewshed analysis to describe the extent of coverage for 10, 20, and 30 milliseconds. I looked at the parameters of each data center being 200 feet high, which isn't as important, but I specifically located major geographical bodies in the United States, specifically mountain ranges that prevent data from quickly being transmitted between a user and a data center. And this is the extent of coverage that was the result of the viewshed analysis when analyzing topological bodies that could be of an issue for data acquisition. So during my research, I noticed that data centers had to abide by three different parameters. They had to be geographically close to users, and they had to have enough water to promote cooling, and they also had to be in cool areas just to facilitate cooling and just keep costs as low as possible. If it's in a cooler region, that just makes it more optimal for the data center to run more efficiently. So given these three different parameters, I decided to do an EBK interpolation of the precipitation as well as the average temperature within Kansas. I wanted to also mention that in the above map there seems to be a clear distinction of no data coverage within the middle of the United States, and what made me specifically choose Kansas as our point of focus is during my interviews with Fortune 500 companies, tech companies, they disclosed to us that there are possibility of them looking into and creating data centers in Kansas. So I just wanted to continue what they mentioned in my previous research. So I focused on Kansas. I analyzed precipitation and the average temperature, and I looked at the average temperature for the hottest day in Kansas, hottest month in Kansas. That would be July, and I looked at the month of lowest precipitation, which is January, to create this analysis. So it's the most extreme temperatures to analyze and mitigate risk. So these are the interpolations, and then given these interpolations, I decided to do a site selection of the highest precipitation and the lowest average temperature. And this is the site selection. The red demarcates the highest precipitation and lowest temperatures within Kansas, so that would be the south, mid-south of Kansas. And given the site selection interpolation, I also decided I found the pixel that had the highest precipitation and the lowest value, lowest average temperature, and then I created a shapefile where I placed a data center there, and that is located in the right map. And given that, I also want to do a cost analysis because data centers are also very intensive when it comes to electrical use. And even though that's not the primary source of cooling methods, it's very important because it's a data center and data is heavily reliant on electricity. So the left map demarcates all the electrical wires within Kansas, and then I ran a cost analysis between the point that I created of the best location for the data center to the nearest electrical wire, and the cost analysis looks at the not just the lowest elevation but the flattest elevation between the power line and the data center of question. So this red line highlights the best path, which would also be theoretically the cheapest path to create the power line, and it would be the most stable as well. And then given the implementation of the data center there in Kansas, this would be the coverage across the United States, and the speed of coverage given that creation of the data center. And inherently it covers more people, covers the entire population of the United States now, and just provides better and faster coverage as this is necessary as more people use data and more data will be stored. This is my presentation. These are my sources. Thank you for listening.